All right, hi everybody, welcome. So this is our Hip 101. We're gonna work inner, outer hips. We're gonna go for stability and strength. We're gonna do a lot of stretching and just introduce the work for the pelvic floor, for the stability for the inner and outer hips, and then do a lot of stretching to take care of them. Perfect. So we're gonna start on the floor. Favorite place to start, lay yourself down. Again, side to your back. And as always, just take a moment to settle in. Little rocks will feel really nice. Good. We're going to get right into the work to start off. So feet are going to be hip width distance. You're going to plant your feet on the floor, relax your toes, knees hip width distance, ankles hip width distance. I know it's hard to see the ankles, but we just kind of have to imagine there. And I really want you to step deeply into your feet. Arms will be by your side, so press into your head, roll your shoulders down your back. Good. And pelvis is neutral, so we're not really arched and we're not compressing, right? Just nice and neutral. Go ahead and take a deep breath in. Big sigh out. Good. Step into your feet. Breathe in. Step into the big toe of your foot. And as you breathe out, I want you to lift your hips up. Good. Inhale, lower just to hover the butt from the ground. Step into the big toe. Exhale, lift. Good. Breathe in to lower. Breathe out to lift. Think of squeezing the inner thighs towards each other the whole time, as if there was something in between your knees. Exhale lifts you. And lift. Good. Inhale, lower. Nice and slow. Exhale, lift. Just feeling what's going on. Get that transverse working. Abs are on. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Let's do two more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Good. Exhale, lift and pause. Lift the pubic bone up about an inch more you can. Now just pulse up. Press the knees forward, 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 forward. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, pause on 1. Good. You should already be burning like crazy. I know under my glutes are on fire. I can feel my inner thighs turning on. Now what we're going to do is sway side to side. So step heavy into your feet. I want you just to sway the pelvis right, sway it left. That's 1. Sway right, sway left. That's 2. That's 3. Keep the pelvis lifted. That's 4. That's 5. Step into the big toe. That's 6. That's 7. These will get you. That's 8. That's 9. That's 10. Good. Pause back to neutral. Push through the knees. I know I get saggy myself. We're going to dip the hips. Right hip will dip to the mat. It's not going to touch it, but almost, and comes back up. Left hip dips and up. Squeeze the inner thighs. That's 2. This should be burning like crazy. I know it is on me. That's 3. Here we go. 4. 4. 5. Stay with it. Find your breath. That's 6. Press through the knees. 6. Press through the knees. Here we go. 7. 7. Be very specific. 8. 8. Let it burn. Enjoy that sensation of your body working. That's 9. 1 more each side. You're here. Just down and up. Just down. Hold at the top. Press through the knees. Reach through the butt bones. Now send knees forward. Butt bones forward. Lower down as slowly as possible. Yes, I know it's burning. It's burning. It's burning. It's burning. It's burning. That's all wonderful. Let the pelvis drop heavy into the ground. Those are crazy, right? Rock side to side. So again, we're figuring out how to get our pelvis stable. So we need those inner thighs and outer thighs working for us like crazy. So those were our inner thighs. Good. Let's take a moment to release them. You're going to send the legs up to the sky. Happy baby, Ananda Balasana. So bend your knees. Let your knees fall out. If you can reach for the big toes or the feet, go for it. Otherwise, just grab the backs of the legs, right? So whatever feels available to you. I'm going to go ahead and grab my toes. You can do a little rock. I know a lot of us like a little rock. And then settle down in the middle. So the point here is that when we do this, normally, did you see what happened? My butt lifted up like crazy. I want you to pull your feet down and then press your feet up. So the hands are pulling down, the feet are pressing up, and the tailbone just settles into the ground. If you want to play a little, you can straighten one leg and then the other. If this is available, if you're like, you're crazy, this doesn't feel good at all, you just go back to holding those inner thighs, a gentle pull down, maybe even relaxing the feet if that feels good to you. Actually, that did feel quite nice as well. Or you can play around, depends on what's available to you. I know I'm a little more flexy postpartum, maybe you are too. Maybe it feels good to have both legs straight, but don't sacrifice the pelvis, right? Pelvis is on the ground for this whole thing. So drop heavy through the pelvis. Keep thinking of reaching those butt bones forward, 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 wherever you are. Good, let that go. So we're going to repeat all of that for our outer hips. So feet are going to go just a little bit wider than hip width distance, so nothing too crazy. Toes are still going to point forward. The temptation is either heels to be way out or way in, but we want to track the feet parallel to each other, a little bit wider than hip width, right? So my feet are about here and my hips are in here. So that's about all I want. I'm going to walk my heels as close to my glutes as I can, wrap my shoulders down my back. I'm going to step heavy into my feet. This time I'm going to focus on the outer edge of my feet, but still keep those big toes on the ground. So take a big breath in, fill up. Big breath out, step into the feet, push into the outer edge, and lift up. Now, knees are going to want to open naturally. You're going to track them forward so those outer thighs are really working for you. Breath in to lower. Breath out to lift. In to lower. Out to lift. That's 3. In to lower. Out to lift. 4. In to lower. Keep the ribs closed. Out to lift. 5. In to lower. Breathe. Out to lift. 6. In to lower. Breathe out to lift. 7. In to lower. Breathe out to lift. 8. In to lower. Out to lift. 9. In to lower. Out to lift. 10. You're going to pause. And now we pulse. Check with the knees. If they've opened, if you're not feeling anything on the outer thighs, I want you to pull the knees together a little bit. Good. Now pulse up. It should be burning like crazy on those outer thighs. Good. You might notice maybe your inner thighs are stronger. The last one was easier. Maybe this one feels a little easier. For me, both of these are tremendously challenging. We're almost there. Last 4, 3, 2, hold up on 1. Now we sway right and left, right and left. This one's kind of fun. Not as hard as the others for me, but it depends. Maybe it's pretty hard for you. Here we go. That's 5. Imagine you're making figure 8s with your pelvis. Yeah, 6, 7, 8. Step into those feet. Good. And 10. Now we dip. Push through the knees. Push through the pelvis. Get out of that low back. Dip. Right hip and up. Left hip and up. Keep thinking knees forward. Will they move slightly? Sure, but keep trying to push them forward so you can stay really stable. 5, I think. And 6. 6, relax the shoulders. And 7. 7. That's 8. 8. 9. 9. 10. Do the other side. Come on, you got it, you got it, you got it. Lift up as slow as you can. Push through the knees and butt bones. Make your spine longer as you lower down. Pelvis settles. Little rock side to side. Good. And a big stretch for this one. Let go of the front of the hips. Let go of those hip flexors. Reach forward, reach back. Good. So it's just a wake up for the hips. So that's all the burning we're going to do. Now we're going to stretch. Don't worry, there'll be plenty more videos with a lot more hip action, but we're just getting familiar. We just learned about our inner thighs, learned about our outer thighs. Right now, I just want you to cross your right ankle bone over top of your left thigh. Walk that left foot in, close to the butt as feels good, and just pause. If this feels like enough, perfect. Live here. If you want a little bit more, you can start lifting that left foot up. Left heel is in line with knee, knee is in line with hip. You can reach under and grab, right? And instead of rocking from one side to the other, actually, you can do that at first, just kind of feel where that stretches and where you're leaning away from it, and then find neutral. So back of the pelvis on both sides is heavy on the ground. I want you active in the left foot, right, just for now, and try to pull your heel closer to your face, right? So you're going to get a little bit deeper stretch. Right foot can just hang out. Some people like to straighten the leg. That offers them more sensation. You're welcome to do that, or you're welcome to keep it bent. And if you're still on the floor, that's perfectly fine as well. Slow, deep breaths. Can you relax your shoulders, relax your jaw? Breathe into that outer right hip. Good. Just one more breath here. Perfect. From here, I want you to let go of that left leg if you're holding on and lift the left leg into the air if it isn't already. I want you to cross your right thigh all the way over your left thigh like you're crossing your legs in a chair. So thighs are crossed, knees are somewhat stacked. I want you to reach around and grab whatever leg is closest to whatever hand, right? So it's basically right hand is grabbing left foot, left hand is grabbing right foot. You can grab on top or underneath, whatever feels better to you. I can barely get my shins because I'm really tight in my hips. And then notice, you could probably see it happening, that right side wants to pull up. I want you to purposely drag the right side down so you're nice and even. Can you drop your shoulders heavier onto the ground? Settle your chin towards your chest, relax your jaw, and just breathe. Deeper into that IT band, outer right hip, breathe. Good. One more deep breath here, in and out. Perfect. I want you to keep your legs crossed. Just plant your left foot on the ground. Step into your left foot, scoot your hips to the right about an inch, and then drop your knees down towards the left. Right arm can extend wide or can stay bent, whatever feels better. And then check in with the neck. Does it feel good falling to the right? Does it feel better back to the left? I like to kind of breathe out and move it a little. Each breath you're taking, you're trying to melt the right shoulder down more rather than thinking about twisting deeper through the legs. If this twisting of the legs bothers your low back, I just want you to untwist your legs and just let them stack. Good. One more breath in. Melt your right shoulder down as you breathe out. Perfect. So let's get even. Untwist yourself. Square off your hips. Let the legs go. Right foot on the ground this time. Left ankle crosses right thigh. If here is enough, here is where you live. If you want more, right foot floats into the air. You're going to pull the heel towards your body. You can reach up underneath. Just grab underneath of the leg. It's a little safer for the knee right now. Little rock first, side to side. Notice where your stretch is. Notice where you're leaning away from it. Settle in the middle so you feel both parts of your pelvis heavy on the ground. Relax the head. Relax your shoulders. Pull your right heel towards your face. Two more breaths. One side is always tighter than the other. Maybe this side feels a little more open. Maybe it's a little more challenging. Last breath. Good. Lift the right foot in the air if it isn't already. You're going to cross left thigh over top of right thigh. You might have to lift up to grab those feet. This side for me is a little easier with this version of cow face. Good. And just breathe. Head is heavy, shoulders are soft. 2 more breaths. And I have a baby waking up. Woo, we all know what that's like. Good. Settle, right foot down on the ground. Nudge the hips to the left. Soften the knees over, extend the left arm. Again, play around with the neck. Maybe it feels good to look at your hand, maybe absolutely not. Walk that right shoulder blade